Have you ever wished that you could grow a little bit taller than you are right now? You probably heard from everyone that you can't grow taller after puberty. Well, after lots of experimenting and research, I can tell you that this statement is false. So make sure you watch this full video, since I will be explaining why I think you can grow after puberty and how you can do it yourself too. Before I dive into all of this, I want you guys to like, subscribe and share so I can put out more high quality videos for you guys. Anyways, so for bones to grow, you need to apply stress to them in some kind of way to stimulate them. There are two types of stress that stimulates your bone to grow: mechanical stress and hormonal stress. Now let's first talk about mechanical stress. Mechanical stress can be explained by Wolff's Law. Wolff's Law, developed by German anatomist and surgeon Julius Wolff in the 19th century. This law states that the bones of a healthy animal will adapt to the loads under which it is placed. To explain it in simple terms, let's pretend your bones are like Play-Doh. You can shape Play-Doh into different shapes and make it bigger or smaller by squishing it or stretching it. Well, your bones are kind of like that too. For example, if you jump a lot or sprint a lot, the bones in your legs and maybe even upper body have to adapt to the forces. Forces include the impact from when you are landing each time and the muscles pulling on your bone with each fast movement. Weightlifting also puts a lot of force on the bones. This is why bodybuilders or powerlifters have much bigger and denser bones than the average human. One weightlifter is very special. His name is Alexander Zass, also called the Amazing Samson. Alexander Zass was a Russian strongman and was a very special individual. He escaped war camps in First World War as a prisoner a total of 4 times. How did he do this? Well, he did this because he had the strength to break shackles and bend the iron bars of the jail cells he was in. Alexander Zass is one of many strongmen from an era with others of similar strength. It was strongmen like him who inspired John Wood to investigate the development of bone strength. John Wood has spent over 6 years experimenting with specific training so as to strengthen his skeleton. An unexpected side effect of this particular training was that he gained roughly an inch of height in 5 years' time, in his 30s. But besides the gain in height, his frame also increased in size. He discovered that muscle and bone have a 3-to-1 ratio, meaning that when you gain muscle, you will gain bone, and when you gain bone, you will gain muscle. But how did John Wood know all of this was working? He knew it was working because he got DEXA scans very regularly to check the size and density of his bones. But at one point, John got so big he didn't even fit in the DEXA machine anymore. John Wood grew an inch at 30 years of age just using Wolff's Law, which focuses more on width than length. Now, there is another John that also used Wolff's Law to train his bones. His name is John Sparrow, and he is a good friend of mine. John Sparrow started doing particular barefoot exercises with kettlebells to train the muscles around his shin bones, and did so twice a week. After doing them for half a year long, his mother said that John looked taller. John went to measure himself and found out that he gained roughly an inch of height at 21 years of age. If you want the exact routine of what John Sparrow did to gain 1 inch of height at 21 years of age, I put a link in the description where you can download his entire routine for free. Now, the 2 Johns I just listed have had great success growing taller using Wolff's Law to their advantage. Wolff's Law essentially involves putting mechanical stress on your bones and through that stress causing them to grow. There are ways beyond mechanical stress you can apply stress to your bones by. One other very effective way to apply stress to your bones is using hormonal stress. Your hormones have a huge influence on the growth of your bones and can really boost height growth after puberty. Growth hormones and thyroid hormones are the most important ones. Not only will they boost bone growth, but they even have the ability to reopen growth plates if the amounts are high enough, although this is a very rare occurrence. One of the best examples is Adam Rayner. Adam Rayner was an Austrian man who is known for being both a dwarf and a giant. He was born in 1899 and was documented as being only 4 foot tall at the age of 20. However, in his late 30s and early 40s, he experienced a rapid growth spurt and reached a height of 7 feet and 8 inches by the time he was 50 years old. It is believed that Adam Rayner's growth plates, also known as epiphyseal plates, were not fully closed at the time of his growth spurt, which allowed for his height to increase. In some cases, the growth plates may not fully fuse, which can result in continued growth into adulthood. It's also possible for the growth plates to reopen later in life, although this is a rare occurrence. Now, what caused Adam Rayner his insane growth was the huge secretion of growth hormones. Adam Rayner had a tumor on his pituitary gland, which led to an insane secretion of growth hormones in his body. This also explained his huge lower jaw and brow ridge, as they all respond very well to growth hormones. Now, you don't have to get a tumor to increase growth hormone in your body to grow taller, since you can actually do it in a natural way. A few ways to increase growth hormones in your body is number 1, sleep. Sleep is super important for your growth hormones. The majority of growth hormones are released in the first 90 minutes of your sleep, so you need to go to bed early. A good way to improve your sleep quality is to limit blue light exposure before bed, so turn your screen orange or get some blue light blocking glasses. Number 2 is protein. HGH and IGF-1 are actually proteins, and more proteins equals more growth hormone. If you want to have optimal growth hormone levels, you should eat at least 120 grams of protein daily. The best source of these proteins is from animal-based sources such as meat, eggs, fish, and dairy. Number 3 are certain exercises that boost growth hormones, of which my favorite is sprinting. For sprinting, I sprint 10 seconds at maximum force, and then between these sprints, I rest about 1 to 3 minutes. I do this about 2 to 3 times a week for maximum growth hormone and recovery. Now, if you want to learn more on how you can boost your growth hormone by 1,000 to 2,000%, I have put a link in the caption where you can buy the full growth hormone optimization course I made, with much more fun and effective ways to boost your growth hormones. Now, in this video, I have just listed a few ways you can trigger height growth after puberty, and I showed examples of people that have went before you. Now, if you want to learn in detail how you can grow taller, I advise you to become a member of the Skyscraper Method, which tells you almost everything I know on how you can grow taller after puberty, including routines and exercises. In fact, the method works even better for people that are still in puberty. An example is a client of the course called James, who is still in puberty and managed to grow 5 inches taller in 2 months. But that's for another video. If you don't want to buy the course, I always post free tips on my Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter, so make sure you check them out for more. See you guys in the next video.